Hey guys, Raider here. Hope you're all doing great and having a fantastic day. Here it is. I've had the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra since February 24th. As of the time of this recording, it is now March 13th. I've had it for about 2.5 weeks. I'm going to say this right at the front of the video, just to save a lot of you guys a bunch of time. This is, without a doubt, hands down, that's with me having iPads, the Tab S7 Plus, other Android tablets of all varying sizes. This is, without a doubt, the greatest tablet experience that I've ever had, personally, in my entire life. Nothing better. Not even close. It really has set the bar, but if you want to stick around to see why that I think this is the greatest tablet ever made for both productivity and media consumption, hang around. We're going to cover a lot. This is going to be a very detailed review. And we're going to start off with what I consider to be the most important part, the user experience. What is it like to have this tablet on a day-to-day basis? What I've done is put together some B-roll of me using this around the house to give you guys an idea of what it's like. Let's go ahead and cut away to that now, and I'll join you back here at the desk when it's done. Oh, nothing better than a little bit of Family Guy, relaxing on a Sunday. Oh, hold on. Hey, baby!
Yeah?
Can I get a glass of water?
Just a minute.
Awesome, thank you.
Welcome.
Giggity.
Please.
Let's crank it up a little bit.
Get out of here.
Ha! Giggity. Yeah.
To the post Roe versus Wade Brady Bunch. Greg, Marsha, get down here.
All right, so a lot of you guys are wanting to know, how good is this in your lap? You know, what's the lapability like? Let me focus here on myself here. So I've got my legs pretty much spread out at an even distance. So one thing I want to show you here real quick. We grab this keyboard cover here. New for the Tab S8 Ultra on this particular keyboard, we have these little clasps that come out to the side, which help keep the tablet lined up properly while you're using it. So here it is on our lap. Go ahead and get it going. All right, let's get comfortable. So far it's staying intact, no issues. One thing I really like compared to the S7 Plus is that it has a little bit of a wider deck. So as your legs are kind of spread in a natural position, it sits nicely right on top of your legs instead of coming like towards the inside of your legs right here because it's not wide enough. So this feels very much like a laptop, a little top heavy of course, kind of what you expect since the tablet's up top here. Let's go ahead and pick a recipient. Boom, we just start typing. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's really nice to see you today. So very comfortable, guys, very lappable. You know, you see a lot of complaints saying, well, it's not as sturdy as the Apple Magic Keyboard. It doesn't need to be. It has these reinforced sides here. It's not going anywhere. It's attached to the tablet. You know, if you do something like that, it's going to come undone, but very comfortable. All right, from a lappability perspective, definitely an upgrade over the last generation. Awesome. Nice. A little bit of comics action, a little Manta, a little Magna. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. That's right. Who's your daddy? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Dude, it's like being in an arcade, guys. musicians. Oh man, I am so sick of writing these database queries. Alright, I'll take a break. Oh man, that's enough.
$700, no man, they drop these down to like $250, $269.
No.
Oh yeah, this is cheap as heck.
Now, if I watch Blu-rays on my tube, is it going to have letterbox or is it going to be full frame like
Okay, now,
standard?
if you, well, what's your aspect ratio? Is it 16 by 9 or 4 by 3?
I do not know.
Hello, Arthur.
Hi.
Hey,
What you got there?
a little Blu-ray player.
Blu-ray player.
Brand new Blu-ray
Oh,
player.
Blu-ray player. Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Those things play on plasmas or just CRTs?
No, this play on plasma, CRT, DLP,
DLP.
any kind of format you have.
How much you pay for that one right there?
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah.
Oh, this was free for me. I sold it.
Hey, Junior,
Yeah.
you still got that 8-track tape player?
Dude said 8-track.
Yeah, I don't think those will work on a Blu-ray though.
Alright, got my FPV music channel up. Let's go and check the Discord server. Let's do the thing. Sweet. Sometimes it's just a lot easier to get stuff done on a desktop setup. 35 bucks at Amazon, Anchor 341. It's been around forever, extremely popular. The Opera pass-through charging as well. Find a hole there. Give it just a second. Monitor picks up a signal, spits out 4K, 60 FPS. There's our screen. I prefer to go DeX. Alright, cool. YouTube Studio. Get YouTube up. Let's get Chrome up. Let's get them side by side. Just how I like it. Desktop experience. There you go. Keyboard, mouse, whatever you want. Pass-through charging. Keep your tablet charged. And on top of that, you can minimize this and use Android in the background or continue right on the tablet itself. So awesome. Alright. Alright guys, we're back. Well, that was interesting enough. You know, I should say that I'm not a creative professional. I'm not. I can't draw to save my life, but apparently a lot of tablet manufacturers, I won't name any names, but they feel like maybe perhaps every single person out there is some type of artist or creative professional, and that the only people buying these tablets are said creative professionals. And I'm here to tell you guys that's a flat out lie. I hardly know anyone that can draw. I know like 1 or 2 people. This is not a popular career field. It's just one that a few people get into, that a few companies like to market as being the de facto job that everyone should have and the de facto reason to own a tablet. And that is not true. Look at this screen. This is why you want to own this tablet. This is a media consumption dream. This is a productivity powerhouse with its beautiful 16 by 10 display, which lets you split apps right down the middle. It just doesn't get better. We're going to go ahead and talk about the tech specs, the user experience a little bit more, and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts. Let's go ahead and start with what I think we can all agree is the most important part of this tablet, and pretty much any tablet you buy, period. And that is the display. I mean, you get a tablet to step away from your phone and to get that larger screen real estate. Look at this. Just look at this display. If you don't like the notch, you can get rid of it. Just take a look at it. Let's talk about it. This display is a 14.6-inch Super AMOLED display with Wacom EMR sandwiched right in the middle of the layers. Also compatible with all Wacom EMR tech pins. This display features a 240 pixel per inch pixel density, gets up to 400 nits of brightness, has an 1848 by 2960 display, HDR10+. This is pushing about 3K. Now before you say it's only a 3K display, please keep this in mind. 3K on a 14.6-inch display is basically the equivalent of 4K on a 15.6-inch display. And last time I checked, not a single person on this planet has ever complained about 4K on 15.6 inches. You will be happy with this display. All right, it gets plenty bright enough. All right, it's just a hair under the Tab S7 Plus, the last generation model. That came in at 500 nits brightness. This one's about 400. Plenty bright enough for indoors. Let me show you a little bit right now. This is all hands-on in this review, guys. Let's dim that down. Let's raise that brightness up. Okay, plenty bright enough. For those of you concerned about the pixel density, okay, the 240 pixels per inch, I'm going to go ahead and throw some images on the screen here. These are macro shots of the S7 Plus, up close, right on some of the icons, so you can get a real feel for the pixel density of the Tab S7 Plus. All right, beautiful screen. I love the S7 Plus. It was a great laptop. It's now back with Samsung as of a couple days ago. Just look at that screen. Fantastic. 281 pixels per inch on the S7 Plus. Smaller screens get a higher pixel density. Your phones are going to be in the 400 to 500 range. As your screen size goes up, your pixel density decreases because you can't push that many pixels. If you had the same pixel density, we'd be up to like 8K on smaller screens like this. And that's just not going to happen. Now we're going to switch over to some macro close-up shots of this new Tab S8 Ultra. And as you'll see, I think it does a great job. Look at this. Very, very close to the Tab S7 Plus. There's no pixelization. Everything's nice and clear. Everything's nice and crisp. 16:10 aspect ratio, in my humble opinion, is the best aspect ratio on the planet. Period. I will take this over 4:3 and 3:2 any day of the week because that added width gets us true multitasking, not the half-baked stuff that you see on other tablets. You have plenty of real estate on each side to work with individual applications. And this 14.6 inches does it better than anything else out there. It really is an amazing experience. Lastly, one more thing about the display is this does feature Widevine Level 1 support. And what does that mean? That means you're getting true HD content from all your streaming services. HBO Max, Netflix, Amazon, you name it, they're all supported. You're going to have high def. You'll be watching 4K content from any one of these services and it will support it. Xbox Game Pass, high def. It's going to handle everything. Next up, let's talk about the audio. The speakers on here are absolutely fantastic. If you're used to the Tab S7 Plus, you already know how great those speakers are. These are very, very similar to that with some slight differences. With this being 0.2 millimeters thinner than the Tab S7 Plus, I'll put the thickness on the screen. I don't recall the exact measurement. You don't get quite the lower end bass that you would on the Tab S7 Plus and that little bit of fullness that it has. However, what it lacks in that department, it makes up for in the width department. This provides a very home theater-ish, I'm making up words here, but it really does. It really spreads the sound out a lot more than the last generation's model. And when you have this out in front of you, sitting on a tablet holder or a stand, a little bit away from you, a comfortable viewing distance, watching some movies with your family, the sound is absolutely incredible, and it is much better in that situation than the Tab S7 Plus. I feel the sound stage is actually much wider than the iPad Pro 12.9 as well. A little fuller on the iPad, but the volume's about the same, and this has a wider sound stage due again to that 16:10 aspect ratio, which gives us a wider chassis, a wider frame, and we have quad speakers, right? 2 on the left, 2 on the right that have further separation. Further separation equals more stereo sound. Always works that way. You cannot deny physics. So from a physicality standpoint, this trumps every other tablet on the market because they can't physically do what this can. They're not 14.6 inches. It's just not happening. You will not be disappointed with the audio. In case I haven't mentioned it, this does have full Dolby Atmos. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the settings that you get on a tablet like this. First off, one of the key settings that you have is separate app sound. This is so cool. What this lets you do is when you're connected to Bluetooth speakers, it lets you keep all your system related sounds on the tablet while your media sounds go to your Bluetooth speakers. So if you're blasting out a movie, blasting out something like this, and you're casting it, or you have it sitting up in a tablet holder, whatever it may be, and you have your Bluetooth speakers going, you're not going to get all these stupid interruptions from the notifications and all that junk that just drives you nuts. You're going to be focused on the media. not interrupting your family. You'll still get them on this. You'll be able to hear them so you can do what you have to do, but it's not going to impact the actual media experience. What else you have with Dolby Atmos here on the Samsungs are different modes, all right? So we can switch from auto, movie, music, to voice. In addition to that, we have Dolby Atmos for gaming, along with many equalizer settings. You can set up your own custom equalizer, and you have Adapt Sound. And what this does is a hearing test, and it will test both your left and right ears, and will provide you the correct noise separation between your ears, and will boost the appropriate frequencies that your ears are not able to pick up. So if you have some high frequency loss, it will go ahead and boost those based upon your hearing test results. So that way you're getting the most out of your sound, and this has a pretty big impact when you're using Bluetooth earbuds and other devices such as that. Let's go ahead and listen to the audio now for a little bit. Let me turn this up. Take a look at that beautiful screen. Moving the mic around just a little bit. Sounds fantastic. Fantastic. And again, look at that screen. Just look at it. Next up, let's briefly talk about the processor, the system on a chip. What we have this generation is a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. This is Qualcomm's latest chipset. Typically in the past, we never got flagship chipsets on our tablets, not on the Android side. They always skimped out on us. It was always 1 or 2 generations back until they started getting to the Tab S6 and Tab S7 line. And from that point onward, we started getting the same flagship processors that we see in our phones on the Samsung side. And this year is no exception. This is the same chipset that you're going to find on the S22 line of phones, and it performs very well. I've had no issues with the chipset whatsoever. It's buttery smooth. The interface is super smooth. In addition to that, we're going to get 4 generations of OS updates. Not 4 years, 4 generations. All right, so we're on Android 12 now. You can expect to see 13, 14, 15, and 16 at a bare minimum. Also keep in mind that very soon we are getting tablet-specific versions of the operating system in the form of Android 12L. Lastly, we're getting 5 years of security updates, so this machine is going to last you for some time to come. You're not going to have to worry about upgrading anytime soon. You know, it's a long-term play. This is an expensive device. We'll go over pricing a little bit. I also went over it in the unboxing video. You got to pay to play. Boy, you are playing when you get this. I'm telling you, it is not going to disappoint you. Next up, let's talk about battery performance. So for me so far, it's still early, guys. It's still early. You know, I dislike it when we get all these different battery results in the early reviews when that is not how Android works and that is not how Samsung works on top of it. It takes time for the operating system to learn which apps it can put into deep sleep. It takes time to learn your user habits, and it takes time to condition everything properly for your specific use case. It's not overnight. This happens over a period of several days, into the next few weeks, as you're installing and uninstalling apps. Remember, when you first get a device, you're going to load it up with everything under the sun. You're going to try out different launchers, different office productivity apps. You'll be doing all this stuff and uninstalling and installing. And then over a couple weeks period of time, you're going to start to settle in and figure out which works for you on this particular device. And that's when you can really start to focus on what kind of battery life am I getting. But I'll tell you up front, I'm getting roughly 8 to 9 hours, which I think is absolutely fantastic for a 14.6-inch screen. Let me show you my brightness that I typically stay at, because I think that's important. You're looking at it right about there. I'm typically actually just a hair less than that. I'm usually right around here. I'd call that about 60%, give or take 60%. That's very important. It's one of your most important aspects of your battery life is your screen brightness. So I'm getting about 8 to 9 hours, like I said. If I do gaming and stuff, you're looking at 6.5 to 7. And if I turn the brightness down, I can extend it past that. So about an hour less than the Tab S7 Plus, I'd say all in all, I have no complaints with that. Considering we have a thinner profile, all right, that's less room for the battery, less room for the speakers, less room for all of it. We have a thinner profile and a bigger screen. You know, we're pushing more pixels on a bigger screen. So to me, the battery easily meets expectations. It is an all-day device. It will last you all day. You know, let's keep it real for a minute. I mean, I know at first you're going to be super excited and you're going to toy around with it left and right, but then after that newness wears off and you start getting acclimated to having it around and using it on a day-to-day basis, this battery's going to last you all day. You're not going to have a problem with it. All right, next up, let's talk about the cameras. This tablet is no slouch in the camera department. We have 2 rear-facing cameras with a flash. We also have 2 front-facing cameras. On the front, we have 2 12-megapixel shooters. They're both 4K, 60 FPS. One's a wide, another one's an ultra-wide. And yes, that is the reason for the notch. Now, I didn't bring up the notch in the unboxing much, and the reason is because, honestly, to keep it real, 100%, this thing doesn't bother me at all. I know, there's the big whole Samsung making fun of Apple, now it's back and forth, and now the egg's on our face, this and that, all the political crap. Don't care about any of it. What I care about is the product that I have in front of me and what my money's being spent on. And for me, this notch, for what it gives us, including the intelligent auto framing, which we'll talk about here in a second, it's worth it. It's worth getting the smaller bezels, which keeps the frame smaller, which means it's more portable in your hands. You know, you want that. You want all the features that this notch brings. If it wasn't there and we had the thicker bezels, we'd have either a little bit smaller screen, and I don't want that compromise. I love the 14.6 inches. It's perfection. This is laptop size screen. It is perfect. I wouldn't want it any smaller, and if they did keep the screen the same size and increase the bezels, we're now getting a bigger tablet. I don't want it any bigger than this. It looks sleek, it looks sexy, it looks the part. And that notch gives us that. So I know you're gonna hate on it. I'll probably get some hate on the comments for it, but believe me, when you have this in person, especially when you can do things like this to get rid of it, you can get rid of the notch like I showed you in the tips and tricks video earlier on the channel. There's ways around it if you don't like seeing it. Otherwise, it's just there. You're not gonna think about it. You're gonna be thinking about all this other screen real estate that you have. What I wanna do now is show you guys some sample footage of what these cameras can do. So we have our test subject, Andy, here. Go ahead and take a look at these photos here. These are from the rear-facing cameras, all right? And I'm not very photogenic. I'll show a shot of myself here with my glasses on, but I'm gonna have sunglasses on the rest of the time. I kind of have googly eyes, guys. I was kind of born with it. It's a condition that runs in my mom's side of the family. I can't help it. I've had a couple surgeries, but it does make me a little uncomfortable in front of the camera. I know I shouldn't be that way, but I am. But I just wanted to mention that so you didn't think I was, you know, completely drunk or on drugs or something. I just do it because I'm self-conscious of my googly eyes. So what you're seeing now is a front-facing camera, and you're seeing a little bit of video of the intelligent framing in action. And what this does is it follows you around to keep you in focus. If someone else joins your shot, it's going to pan out. The field of view will increase. And basically, both you will remain in the shot. It tries to get you both in. You know, we already have this on Apple. This also already exists on Samsung as well. It's on my Fold 3. So it's not brand new tech, but it's now becoming streamlined and more popular. And we also have it here on this tablet. And as you guys see in the photos and the quick little videos, I think it takes excellent shots. Remember, we have 4K shooters around the board. You know, and I know cameras typically aren't the most popular thing on tablets, but keep in mind, when you have good cameras like this, it does make you think about possibly using it. And think of special events around your house. Shooting pictures around the Christmas tree, put this up on a tablet holder. You now have the biggest viewfinder in the world. You have gesture controls for controlling your camera. You can do wave controls for controlling your camera. All this type of stuff with this large viewfinder. I can't think of a better way to sit there and take family type photos and have everyone be in the shot and everyone be able to see it. You'll get that from this. It's going to open up many use cases that you would have never thought of before. Next up, I want to talk about the S Pen. This generation's S Pen features a new 2.6 milliseconds latency, which is down from 9 milliseconds from the previous generation. And it is noticeable. Is it a big difference? Not to me. Not from a non-artist perspective. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a creative professional. I'm a software guy and I dabble in music. I don't really mess with the creative professional stuff, but I do take a lot of notes. The experience is nice. I don't notice that big a difference. But hey, I know that you guys that are ultra sensitive to it, and those of you that make a living at drawing or whatever it may be, you will definitely notice that little bit of difference, and I know every little difference counts. The S Pen and the digitizer layer in the display are Wacom EMR, and what does that mean? It means this display supports a wide array of pens that are widely adapted and used in both the medical and drawing professions, and it is a de facto standard. So you're not stuck just using this one button Samsung provided S Pen. You can pick up any Wacom EMR pen you want, like the Wacom one that has multiple buttons that you can install an amp and fully customize. You can do whatever you want. The digitizer layer has full support for that, which is absolutely fantastic. Keep in mind that this S Pen also has a Bluetooth functionality. You saw me using it a little bit in the demo early on in this video. I know a lot of you are going to think to yourself, that stuff's really gimmicky. But you know what? When you're sitting back with a large tablet like this, you're not always going to have it right in your lap. A lot of times you'll have it in a tablet holder, sitting propped up on a kickstand, and you're going to have it a ways away from you because the screen is so large. And being able to control your media, volume up, down, forward, backwards, this and that, we'll go over in all the commands here in just a second. Being able to do it with your S Pen from up to 30-something feet away is absolutely fantastic. Control your cameras, the shutter, which lens you want to use, switch between modes, video, and all that. You do it with this pen. You're not getting that with the Apple Pencil. In addition to that, you have full access to controlling your tablet with it. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the functionality the S Pen brings. So you have air commands. What you do to activate them is hover your S Pen right above the screen. You'll tap the button, and you'll see we have all these commands here. I'll let you guys take a look at them. All right. We have the add button. I'm going to go ahead and do that so you can see all the available ones that we have. Here's the additional system commands. You can also pick any of your applications that are in your Edge panel, and you have different commands for pulling up all your different applications. Awesome. Next up, let's go into the advanced settings and let's see what you can really do with this pen. All right, let's pull it down. We go to advanced features. You're going to have a separate section for S Pen. Go ahead and click on that. You have all kinds of different things. We can unlock the device with the S Pen. We have screen off memo. What this lets you do is double tap on the screen while the device is off. It'll open up Samsung Notes. You can scribble a quick note, turn the power right back off without ever having to unlock or get into the device. Great way to take a fast note. We have quick create notes, S Pen to text, absolutely fantastic. If you're poor at handwriting like I am, go ahead and automatically convert everything you handwrite out to text. Air view, which we have already seen with the air commands, is on. Show pointer when hovering. I leave this enabled because it's really nice to see that little tiny pointer. I don't know if you guys are able to pick up on your screen, but what this also enables in turn is hover text. So when you hover over different icons and different system functions, like when we're in S Notes, it will go ahead and pull up a little tagline of what that function does. So you're not having to fumble around and click all the time and press stuff to figure out what it does. You just hover over it just like you do your mouse cursor on a PC. Allow multiple S Pens. Want to use more than one? Want to use a Wacom EMR digitizer pen in addition to your S Pen? Set it up to be compatible with all of them at once, not just this one. We have different menu styles for the S Pen. Right here, right here. And if you download GoodLock, you can customize this to your heart's content. Open air command with S Pen button. We already demonstrated that earlier. Go ahead and hover above the screen, click the button. You have different alerts that can happen when the S Pen is removed. You can set that up in here. Open air command, create a note, do nothing. You can set it up to give warnings when you leave your S Pen behind. I leave this on, it's really nice. So if I step away with my S Pen or I leave it attached up top often, it will go ahead and warn me, hey, your S Pen is sitting to the side. Make sure you don't forget about it. It will give you an alert. Sounds when you're using the S Pen. And you have a tips section. This is a very functional input device for this tablet, both in the air and on the device itself. You can fully control everything with it, and it's fantastic for taking notes. Let's see how it does with taking notes in action right now. We'll go ahead and go back to the home screen, pull up the pop-up, create a note. Okay, it pulls up this default view. Let's take a look. We'll go ahead and pick a pen. I'll pick a bright color. I want you guys to see how fast this responds and how little latency there is. All right, let's go. to erase, hold down the button. You have different eraser styles as well. You can have it do a whole section, or like you see here, I have it doing a small circle, and you can adjust that width as well. I have the sound on as well to make a paper-like sound. That's up to you. You can disable all that. You have unlimited options here on the Android side. You're not stuck with any one thing. You make it your own. Very responsive. I don't think anyone's going to have any complaints with this pen. One last thing I forgot to show were the Air Actions. So these are your Bluetooth control functions, and here are the defaults that you see here. And for each of these different applications and other apps that you install, like we have Note Shelf and Chrome here, you can click on them and enable a whole bunch of custom functionality. Let's take a look here. So Chrome, we have back, forward, and all the rest are set to do nothing, and you can pick whatever you want. Let's take some that are already configured. Let's look at the camera real quick. Take picture, record video. If you double press, you can switch cameras, and here's your other gestures. Go forward to switch cameras. Go back to switch to the other camera. Go to the left to go to the next mode. Go to the right to the previous mode. Go in a circle gesture, and that will zoom in. Go in a circle out gesture, or vice versa, and that'll zoom out. That's just an example of what you can do with the camera. I want to make sure you guys see this because these are really cool functions that you have. I don't consider them gimmicky, especially for something like your camera and media controls. You know, turning your volume up, playing and pausing a video real quick without having to get up off your couch. Don't ever underestimate the importance of media consumption. With a tablet like this, you're going to love it more than you ever have before. All right, that wraps up the S Pen. Next, I want to talk about multitasking, because this is a multitasking powerhouse in regular Android mode, in DeX mode, and using it as a second screen for another computer that you have, your laptop or your desktop. Let's go ahead and first do a quick demo of what it's like to multitask here in the native Android environment. Here's how you start it. You're going to open up an app. We pick any app. It doesn't even matter, okay? Just pick an app, load it. We have the Play Store, okay? I'm just giving a demo of how this works for you. Go ahead and minimize it, okay? It's going to be in your recent apps now. So what we do is we go to recent apps, tap on its icon, open in split screen view. You can also open it in pop-up view. I'll show you that in a little bit. What that does, you have your Play Store on the left, and now it's asking you to open up a second app to do whatever you want on the right-hand side. So we will just go ahead and open up YouTube. All right, you have two apps side by side on this 16 by 10 nice wide display with plenty of height. Remember, we're not shrunk down like 16 by 9. This is the perfect display size for this true multitasking. Right in the middle, you can move them however you want. Okay? You have more function. And in order to make any one of these a pop-up, you would just put it right in the middle, and it'll give you a notification. It'll alert you. Drag here for pop-up view. Watch. Boom. Calculator in the middle, multiple apps on the left, app on the right, have up to 8 pop-ups in a row. That gives you a total of 11 apps you can work with at the same time. And you have plenty of screen real estate. You can cast this to a monitor, just like I showed you in the beginning part of the video. Multitasking on the Android side here is flippin' awesome. It's fantastic, but we can take it even a step further. Let's do that. Minimize all of this. Let's get rid of all of it. It's time to open up DeX. DeX is a powerhouse alternative to the standard Android experience that gives us more of a PC type of look and feel. It's loading up now. This is basically loading up an alternate version of the operating system. You'll see here now we have the classic look. It looks just like a Windows desktop PC. We have all our apps just like normal, okay? Go ahead and open them up. And you'll see here we have full control over not just the app's position, also the app size. You can bring it down, shrink it, make it small. We go ahead and open up something else. We can snap them to the side if we want. Watch this. We'll go over here to the side. Look at that. Boom, bam, bam. Just like you do on a Windows PC. We're not done yet. We can go ahead and open up more. Let's grab another app. Let's open up the clock, okay? We'll put this over here. We're not done. Let's go ahead and open up Samsung Internet. Remember, you can Alt-Tab between all these too. Switch between all your apps just like you normally would. Hey, Galaxy Store, great place to find wallpapers. Let's get it open. Do whatever you want. Switch between them. Go between all your recent apps. There they are. Switch between any ones you want. You have a full desktop type experience. And there are a lot of people that use this to get serious productivity done. Dex is awesome. And this is, for a lot of people, very much a laptop type replacement experience. All right? Dex is fantastic. If you haven't tried it out yet, definitely try it. Comes on most of the Galaxy S-line phones that are all flagship. You'll find Dex used by a lot of people and with a lot of good reasons. And remember, all this can go out to your PC and your monitor as well. Then you have true full-on multitasking support, multiple monitors. You can use your desktop PC keyboard and mouse, whatever you want. The option's yours. This is Android. You do whatever you want with it. It's capable, more than capable. All right, the next feature I want to show you guys is second screen. Do you have a laptop? Do you have a desktop computer? Go ahead and use your Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra as a second screen for it. Not just any second screen, a beautiful 14.6 inch 3K Super AMOLED second display. It does not get any better than this. Let me show you how it's done. It's super, super simple. Swipe down here, all right? You're gonna have a second screen toggle. It's gonna give you the option to be in drawing gaming mode for faster response, and video, which offers smoother playback from your hosting device. And what do these two options mean? Well, the first one means that you will be able to, on your second screen, have S Pen input and control it without actually having to be on your initial device. So this is great for you guys working in Photoshop or other Adobe products, or you're taking notes on a note application that's outside of S Notes. Maybe it's some third-party app that's not supported on Android. Whatever it may be, it doesn't even matter. You can go ahead and use your Tab S8 Ultra as a drawing input device instead of it just being a display. So it's actually an interactive, touch sensitive, with pressure sensitivity input device. That's awesome. Let's go ahead. We've enabled it here. All you have to do on your host computer is press Windows K. It's going to pull it up. We have a bunch of options. I'd like to also mention that this reaches about 50 feet. I've done a test for one of my viewers. They asked me to test it out. I was able to get from my office all the way outside my front door because this doesn't use Bluetooth, unlike Sidecar, which uses a combination of Bluetooth and wireless, and you get 30 feet. This, you can go a lot farther, and you're going to find out here in a second that you also get sound transmitted over to the Tab S8 Ultra. Let's go ahead and connect. Okay. First time took a little bit there. All right, we have the option there you see to allow mouse, keyboard, touch, and pen input. And you also see right now currently it's mirroring my display. And what I mean by that is what you see on the host computer here is the exact same stuff that you see on this display here. But we can change that. What you do is you press Windows P, and you have the options to duplicate, extend, and use second screen only, or to go ahead and disconnect. So we can extend the display as well, in which case we can now take windows on this side and drag them over here, and vice versa, back and forth. And not only that, we'll go over to my channel, pick one of the videos, make sure the volume's up. We have audio, video coming from this machine over to the Tab S8 Ultra. And it doesn't skip a beat. Just drag it. Drag it over here. Drag it back. You'll hear the occasional little stutter because there's that little bit of lag, but it's not too bad. You guys hear it. It's not cutting out too much. Video looks good. All right, that's a second screen feature. Now you can just pick up your tablet, walk away. Like I said, you've got a good 50 feet you can go with this and continue your work. Continue to do whatever you're doing. That's a second display feature. So we have all these positives that I'm talking about. Are there any cons at all? Are there any negatives? I mean, really, there is one. These thinner bezels do make it to where you are going to experience some more accidental touches compared to other tablets. And you'll also notice you might have your thumb resting on it right here a little bit, and you won't have any input. You'll see right now it's not affected, even though my thumb is totally on it. I have noticed a few times that it has completely blocked the input. Not a showstopper issue, not by any means. It's just a matter of adjusting to it and getting used to it. And the other thing I'd like to mention is, more often than not, you're going to have a tablet this size sitting somewhere, sitting on something, you know? So it's not really that big an issue, and it looks very pleasing to the eyes to have these small pixels. Are there any things that I recommend that you pick up for this tablet? Yeah, there's a couple. There's definitely a couple. One, you're going to want to have some type of kickstand case. This is absolutely a necessity. Whether or not you get the official Samsung book cover one, I know that's a pricey ask for those of you that didn't pre-order and aren't getting it included. But whether you go with that or you find something cheap on Amazon, I really do think it elevates this device to a whole nother level. I mean, it gives you the ability to prop it up, you know, because it's pretty heavy with it on there. And you really want that. In addition to that, it gives you a lot of holding options. You see here, I've got my fingers wrapped around it. It really helps on the ergonomic side and gives you a lot of options in holding it. It takes a lot of the weight off holding the tablet itself. And you'll experiment over time, and especially in portrait mode as well. You can hold it by this flap. It's not going anywhere, and it feels really comfortable. I mean, that's kind of the way I like doing it in portrait. So this is a kind of a must-have accessory, I feel. And there's one other one. If you're using this in conjunction with your home computers, with a lot of different peripherals, you have keyboards, mice, you want to read in media cards, stuff like that. Let me grab something. You want a product like this. This is Anker 341 USB-C hub. You can pick this up off Amazon for 30 to 35 bucks. I see it go on Lightning Deal often for 29 bucks. And here's what this is. This USB-C will plug into here, all right? Then you have another USB-C here that allows power pass-through. And what that means is you can plug in your charging brick to here. You'll plug it into here. It'll continue to charge your device through here. It'll send the current through. And what that gives you is 2 USB-A ports for keyboard, mice, thumb drives, whatever it may be, anything that takes this. A USB-C port, and on the back side you have a full-size memory card slot reader, and you have a micro SD card slot reader, and you can use the powered input USB-C as a regular input as well. And also keep in mind that they make many other models of these that go up $5, $10, $15, and that gets you more USB-A ports, Ethernet ports, audio ports, if you're interested in that stuff. But it all starts with this base model, which is a 341. I do highly recommend it. I mean, it's a cheap investment. It can be used on all your systems, and it lets you quickly integrate this with all your desktop peripherals, all of them. You know, it basically turns your tablet into a full-on desktop computer. Best 30 bucks you can spend as an accessory for a device like this. Keep in mind, you're still charging it while this is in use. So my conclusion, do I recommend this device? Yeah, I definitely recommend it. For those of you that have it on pre-order, hold on, just hang in there. It's coming. It's well worth the wait. You are not going to be disappointed. For those of you that don't have it on pre-order, I told you I'd mention the prices, so let's wrap up the video with that. This starts at $10.99 for the 8GB RAM, 128GB internal storage, and then goes up from there. For $100 more, you get this version here, which is 12GB of RAM, 256GB of storage, and that's here in the United States. And then for an additional $200 on top of this, you can get a 16GB RAM, 512GB version. Comes in one color. It's graphite. Looks really nice. All right, guys, this has been a long video. I am loving this tablet. I have no qualms in getting it. I like it a lot more than the Tab S7 Plus. That extra 2.2 inches of screen real estate just opens up so many more doors, so many more opportunities. And it truly does get us that much closer to tablets becoming a true replacement for laptops. I think a lot of you will be able to use this as a full-on laptop replacement and fit it into your workflow, fit it into your personal life. And before I leave you guys, I just want to mention one thing. Don't ever underestimate the quality and the enjoyment of media consumption. A device like this begs to be used for movies, for games, Xbox Game Pass, your HBO Max, Netflix, 16:10. You're going to have the little micro black bars at the top. You know, it's not like 4x3, Apple 3x2, any of that stuff. We're going to have these big chunky bars and things looking completely stupid when you have multiple apps open at once. That's all out the window. 16x10, 14.6 inches, absolute perfection. You guys are going to love this tablet. It is a definite recommended buy. Samsung did great on this one. I've been waiting for a large tablet like this for a long time, and I am not in any way, one shape or form, disappointed. It is absolutely fantastic. All right, guys, as always, thanks for watching.